Construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Homeowners, is your yard in distress? Is your lawn being held hostage by stubborn and unruly weeds? Never fear, lawn lovers. Weedman is here. We'll rescue your lawn and restore its beautiful emerald green glory. The results of our expertly applied program are sure to impress the toughest of critics, your neighbors. Take that, Dale. Vanquish weeds and transform your lawn this year with Weedman Lawn Care. Get 50% off your first application. Go to weedman.com today. Terms and conditions apply. Go to weedman.com today.
It's officially one of the greatest weeks of the year on the sports calendar, Masters Week. Book your tee time today with friends, family, or coworkers at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Doors open at 10 a.m. from Thursday to Sunday, and they'll have food directly from Augusta National, like pimento cheese sandwiches, Georgia pecan caramel popcorn, and lots more, plus specialty drinks to get you in the mood for the greatest golf tournament in the world. Book a bay today at doubleeagle.golf.
School tells you all about the 4 seasons: spring, summer, and so on. And then there's a way we really tell what time of year it is. Sports seasons: football season, baseball season, or even off season. Well, what's the chocolate season? Well, it's now, of course. And now... And now, and always, whether you're looking for a caffeinated pick-me-up on the way to work, a little snack on the way home, or you need the perfect gift that's sure to be appreciated, it's time for the chocolate season, y'all. 40th and Old Cheney, or order ahead at thechocolatseason.com. See you there.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador online at prg-ne.com.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere sprayer during Landmark Implement's Fast Start Early Order program. Leverage the industry's latest technology with See & Spray to target weeds in season in corn and soybeans and use less herbicide per acre. Utilize Exact Apply to save in chemical usage and prevent over-application. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year during Landmark Implement's Fast Start Early Order program. Contact your local Landmark location for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome into the show. We are only on stream with the Royals playing the Brewers right now in Kansas City. Last check, it was 2-1 Royals in the fifth. Yep, 2-1 Royals still in the bottom of the fifth inning. Once that's done, we will bring probably old school back to you over the air. A big thanks to Nebco for sponsoring today's show. Big thanks to Sartor Heyman Jewelers for the streams and Aleph Channel 961. So we are still up and running. Thanks for finding us. Thanks for seeking us out here, even though we're not on your radio dial. It's 2:30 on a Wednesday, so that means we turn our attention to our VIP line brought to you by Allo Fiber, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. We welcome in Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald. Evan, you were part of history about a week ago. Have you ever witnessed a no-hitter before Jackson Brockets against Kansas State?
You know, I went to a AAA game. I think it was an Iowa Cubs game in the mid-2000s and saw one. But it's been a long time, and this was about as unexpected of one as you could possibly imagine, given all the circumstances and everything. So it had been a while, but it was cool, man. Like, you start to kind of recognize what's happening maybe in the fourth or the fifth inning, and you're paying attention to it, and then it just keeps going, and to see it culminate the way that it did was a really memorable night. I think there were about 5,000 people in the Haymarket Park stands that got to witness it too. And so I've certainly never covered one or written about one before. So it was a really pretty special experience.
Do you happen to remember who was on the mound for the iCubs no-hitter?
Oh, man, you would ask me that. I can't remember. I kind of need to do my research on that because I hadn't thought about it in a long time. And it was a guy, I don't believe it was anybody who ever went on to do anything. And it might have been the guy on the other team who no-hit the Iowa Cubs. So I need to refresh myself on that, but no, I can't tell you right offhand.
We do know it was Jackson Brockett for the Huskers, and you mentioned that it was unexpected. For people that maybe missed it and missed the background context, what made it so special that it was Jackson Brockett that threw that no-hitter for the Huskers?
Well, I mean, he'd only thrown 5 1/3 innings coming into the game all season, and we're talking about a game in the month of May. And so, Brockett's a guy who, went to Elkhorn South growing up and moved away to Beaufort, Georgia as a senior to play in some higher level high school competition. And he comes to Nebraska, and he had his moments his first couple of years. He was a weekend starter, both as a freshman and as a sophomore, but it was just a little bit harder for him this year. He didn't make the travel roster for the first time last month and had to process that. Just had junked his slider, was trying to work on his curveball, and really the only reason he got the ball against Kansas State on Wednesday was out of necessity. I mean, Nebraska had used, I think it was 8 or 9 pitchers against Creighton the night before, and they just needed some length. If he could give them 2 or 3, they would have been ecstatic. And he keeps knocking them down, mowing them over one after another. And Rob Childress keeps telling him one more inning. And pretty soon he goes the distance and strikes out 12. National Pitcher of the Week pretty much by every outlet that's out there. So, obviously a no-hitter's special no matter who does it, whether that would, if it had been Brett Sears or Mason McConaughey or whomever. But like to have it be a guy like Brockett who was sort of just on the periphery of the team this year with what he had done was all the more unlikely. And I think moving forward, what makes it really fascinating, especially if he can carry some momentum into tonight, is that could mean a lot for Nebraska as it looks into the postseason future. And it's tried to kind of find its 3rd or 4th starter all season. So if Brockett can continue to hold on to that magic from last week and be a quality starter for Nebraska, that could be a huge difference if they're playing in an elimination game in the Big Ten tournament or the NCAA tournament after that.
Better late than never for Nebraska to get a big non-conference midweek win. They do it against Kansas State 8-0. South Dakota State tonight. Anything noteworthy about the Jackrabbits coming to Lincoln?
Well, they're struggling as a team. They're the last place team in the Summit right now. So they walk a ton. So yeah, I think you'll probably see a lot of base runners. They can hit the ball a little bit. They have a couple quality hitters, but you just kind of look at their body of work this year. They've struggled defensively. Offensively, they're okay. But you would expect, and this is a team that came into Lincoln and beat Nebraska last year, so I don't think you can just sort of assume things will go well. But I think both these teams are different than they were a year ago as well. They're starting a guy in Alex Clemens who's been a reliever all year, so you would have to expect this will be a bullpen sort of game for South Dakota State. So I think it's a game where, again, the offense for Nebraska can do some work. And to me, though, really the storyline of this game is going to be, what does Jackson Brockett do for an encore? And again, like, you're not expecting a no-hitter. You're not even expecting 6 or 7. But, hey, if he can give you 4 or 5 quality innings, again, I think that can mean a lot for what Nebraska wants to do in these coming weeks. And so, there's that. And I think additionally, there's still an outside chance that Nebraska could move back into the hosting conversation if they come close to running the table the rest of the way. And so, this is a game you got to take care of in that regard. You can't drop this thing in all likelihood and keep that dream alive. So I think you take care of some business, and it's just another chance for Nebraska to see who it can trust when it moves into some bigger games here coming up pretty soon.
As you look at Nebraska moving toward the postseason, Evan, how much of that discussion of maybe creeping back into a fringy 1 seed is in Nebraska's control, and how much help is Nebraska going to need from the outside to play its way up from the 2 line?
Yeah, I mean, there's still so many games and variables that it's hard to start worrying too much about what the other teams out there are doing. What I'm going to write about later this week is, okay, so say Nebraska does come close to running the table, what does their profile look like relative to other regional hosts, and specifically regional hosts that are not from sort of the power conferences, the SEC, the ACC, the Pac-12, and the Big 12. And when you look at the profile of a host outside of those conferences, almost without exception, you have to win about 40 games. And in the Big Ten's case, they've had 6 teams that have hosted since Nebraska's been in the league, and every one of those teams has won the Big Ten regular season championship. So I think that's where it has to start for Nebraska, is winning the league, and you're at a 3-way tie for second place. You're a game out. Huge pivotal series against Indiana this weekend. I think any conversation about hosting or any hope that comes along with that, I think has to start with winning the Big Ten, and that probably means winning at least 4 of your last 6, somewhere in that neighborhood, maybe 5 of your last 6, and then of course, if you can make a run in the Big 12 tournament or the Big Ten tournament, that can add to your resume as well. But I think the conversation again about a regional host, it's still on the table. But to me, the focus is winning the Big Ten, because if you don't do that, history will say you're probably going to be on the road for the NCAA tournament anyway.
Keep a lookout for that piece at omaha.com that Evan said you'll have up in the near future. Evan, I want to turn to Friday night, and Brett Sears, who started out the year just nails. Even through Maryland, it continued. His last couple starts have been, not horrible, but rockier than we've seen from him. Are you seeing fatigue from him? Is it better scouting? There's just more out there on him, or is this just normal, hey, sometimes pitchers get hit from Nebraska's Friday night guy?
I think first of all, he set the bar so high. I mean, you're talking about, he had a 9-game streak of quality starts, which was tops in the nation. So by his own standard, it was really going to be hard to live up to that the rest of the way. And like you mentioned, a little bit rockier against Iowa, and then against Minnesota last week, he gives up 5, 4 of which were earned, which was the most he'd allowed all season. I know Will Bolt said on his radio show the other night, he thought maybe there was still another level of intensity, competitive intensity that Sears can lock back into here for the home stretch. So that probably plays a part of it. But I don't know. Beyond that, like, his fastball looked good. His command is still pretty good. He's not walking many guys, and when he is, it's on borderline pitches, usually on full counts. So I think you're still liking what you see from him. Now, Indiana is going to be a real challenge on Friday night. They're a top 30 scoring offense, really physical, athletic lineup. It's going to challenge you in a lot of ways. So I think that'll be another good opportunity for Sears to show what he can do. And then you figure you have, the Michigan State start before he starts pitching games in the postseason too. So, he's still the Big Ten leader in WHIP, I believe, strikeouts and ERA as well, definitely ERA. So I think if the Big Ten Pitcher of the Year were to be announced today, it'd probably be him or Brody Brecht from Iowa, which still tells you a ton about his body of work. But yeah, I think as Nebraska heads into the postseason, maybe another vintage Sears start would go a long way in giving that team confidence that it can make some noise in the postseason.
He's pitched really well. His workload has reflected that. Do you think he's a guy that Nebraska, as we get toward the end of the regular season and into postseason, maybe if they would normally go to the bullpen, do you think Sears and even McConaughey are guys they might try to squeeze another extra out or two from? Or do you think Nebraska is going to manage it, pretty normally with bullpen and starters down the stretch?
Well, I think the last couple of weeks they'll probably do what they've been doing. I mean, they've had a pretty successful formula for winning weekends. They've only dropped 2 to this point, so I think that they have that track record to lean back on. But even like Sears, even when he hasn't been at his best, I think against Minnesota, he still went 5, which is helpful. That still really only requires you to use maybe 2 pitchers out of the bullpen and keeps your guys in line for the weekend. So I think that's sort of, to me, one of the marks of an ace is that, like, even when you don't have everything going, you still find a way to get outs and to eat up innings. And he's done that. McConaughey, for the most part, has done that pretty consistently, going 5 or 6. And so it does. I mean, it makes a big difference for the arms that are available later. It allows you to play matchups, that sort of thing. So I wouldn't expect Nebraska to alter that formula here in the next couple weeks. Maybe that changes if you get into the Big Ten tournament and an elimination game, or certainly the NCAA tournament after that. But I think they like what they have, and they realize that if you keep winning 2 out of 3 the way that they've been doing, your path to the postseason is going to be pretty well paved.
We're talking with Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald here on our Allo VIP line. Let's switch gears to the offense, Evan. Is there anyone in this lineup, maybe off the bench, getting some inconsistent playing time, that you think is about ready to break out and help this offense as it enters the last couple weeks?
Well, I mean, they have some different options. We haven't seen Caden Brumbaugh at second base in a little more than a week now, since he had a hand injury. I don't believe he played at all in the Minnesota series, and so he's somebody who's been a top of the lineup bat. We'll see if he's back tonight or certainly this weekend against Indiana. And then, in the outfield, they've been pretty flexible about playing matchups and things of that nature. I mean, they've had Case Sanderson out there, who's a freshman, quietly leading the team in batting average. When Clay Bradford's been in there, he's been really solid. Garrett Anglem's had his moments. Gabe Swanson, who was one of Nebraska's best bats last year, it's been hard for him to get back into the lineup just because of what some of the other outfielders are doing. So to me, that's kind of where Nebraska can be a little bit flexible. And then at first base too, I mean, they're putting Ty Stone out there, as well as Ben Columbus. So they do have some, flexibility there. And then when Rhett Stokes is in the lineup at second base, he's been a really good contact hitter, ball and play sort of guy as well. So I do continue to think, like, you look at the numbers offensively, like they get on base and they hit like a top, 80 or so nationally clip, but their scoring is more in the 120s range, which to me says they're getting guys on, but they're not necessarily getting that big hit. And so that to me is maybe one of the keys these last few weeks of the season is if Nebraska continue to get those guys on, who comes up with the big hit, the big 2-out base knock, or the clutch home run that tends to flip games. I think ultimately that'll be one of the deciding factors in just how far Nebraska is able to go.
Clutch hitting isn't a skill. We've seen that across, years and years of baseball. But at the same time, you'd like to think if Nebraska is getting guys on, that 80th ranked clip, that they should be about there and runs scored. But it hasn't been the offense that's been the problem, right? I mean, sometimes it's come and gone. But is this a situation where maybe the offense has been good enough, but might even have to be a little bit better to help extend Nebraska's run in any postseason action?
Well, it's come and gone, like you said. I mean, I think a lot of the midweek games, as much as it's been a struggle for Nebraska to find a fourth starter, I think there are often times where the offense is disappointed. I mean, where you scored 3 runs against Creighton, or you scored 5 runs against Kansas, and you're not facing that team's best pitchers either. So, like, there have been, I think, moments where the coaches and players have been disappointed that the offense has not been able to pick up the pitching on the other side and been able to turn some of these games into slugfests. But there have been other times when you've seen, the lineup really reaching its potential, and you're talking about walks and stolen bases, hit and runs, sacrifice flies, executing bunts. Like when Nebraska does that, it's a team that puts pressure on opposing defenses and is fun to watch, and they can hit the occasional long ball as well. But, that's an offense that does require a higher level of execution, because it's not just the one big fly that generates runs. You're going to need 2 or 3 guys to maybe do their jobs and execute. And again, when it works, it's the kind of thing that knocks opposing pitchers out of games and can, really lead to some runaway victories. But when it doesn't work, you're getting a lot of guys left on base. You're maybe in closer games than you would expect to be. So typically, as the weather has warmed up, offenses tend to get a little bit better. And if Nebraska can pair that with what it's done on the pitching side generally, I think that's a recipe for some success.
Last thing for you, then, Evan, we'll switch gears to Husker football really quick. We've seen Nebraska pop up in a lot of preseason top 25 and change lists here. Let's say Nebraska is a top 25 team this coming season, but what's the one stat, maybe outside of turnovers, that you think would help boost Nebraska to not just a winning and successful season, but a top 25 caliber season?
Yeah, well, you're right. Turnovers would be the obvious one. A little bit better production in the passing game, I suppose, would be sort of that next thing. I think the defense is a relatively known quantity with as many veterans as there are back, and Tony White, the DC, back coordinating things. So I think you have a pretty strong sense of what you're going to get on that side of the ball. But offensively, obviously, quarterback play was the weakness of the offense a year ago, and certainly with the fumbles and the interceptions. But I think also if you can just execute some of the basic plays, quick screen passes, bubble screens, swing plays, delayed handoffs, things like that, that can go a long way in getting the ball to your playmakers in space and letting them do what they do. So I think that's probably what I would say. And if you have a deep ball threat the way that Nebraska seems to, with Jalen Lloyd and Ja'Cory Barney and Isaiah Nayor, and you have a guy who can get it there in Raiola and some of the other quarterbacks they have, then that's probably where I would start. You just think back to last season and what a chore offense seemed to be for Nebraska so often. Just that ability to sustain drives with some short, accurate passes, I think, would go a long way in flipping some of those close losses the other way.
That's Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald with us on our Allo VIP line. He'll be out at the ballpark for Nebraska and South Dakota State tonight. Give him a follow on Twitter at Evan Bland OWH. All things Husker baseball and Husker football. Evan, as always, appreciate your time, and talk again next week.
Thanks, Austin. See ya.
Evan joined us on our VIP line, brought to you by Allo Fiber, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. We'll take a break. When we get back, bring Stricky in, wrap up hour 1. What's coming up in hour number 2 of the show? We will talk a new college basketball NIL-based tourney in Las Vegas. Who are the teams participating now? Is the money enough to keep these teams and these players coming back? Can they get any bigger names involved? We'll go over that. And then Austin Rivers made some comments about NFL and NBA players in the opposite sport. A couple places have put out lists of athletes they would like to see, try to cross over specifically from the NFL to the NBA. We'll go over that and plenty more, whatever's on your mind throughout the rest of the show. 402-464-5685 is the Sartor Heyman text line number, or be like Justin watching on YouTube. Leave a comment there on Facebook, Twitch, or Twitter as well. 3-1 Royals. They head to the 7th inning right now. Another sac fly from Michael Massey scoring Bobby Witt Jr. Once that game is done, we will be back on the airwaves. Don't go anywhere. We'll wrap up hour 1 of On the Block here in just a minute.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
Hey Nebraska! Register today for the 40th Annual Cornhusker State Games, taking place July 11th through the 21st in Lincoln, Omaha, and other Nebraska communities. The Cornhusker State Games features 70 sports for athletes of all ages and abilities. Price increases are approaching, so register early and save. For details, go to cornhuskerstategames.com. If you've experienced a sports injury, joint, or back pain, trust your care to Nebraska Orthopedic Center, a proud platinum partner of the Cornhusker State Games.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hello? Believe it or not, old phones are one of the most common pain points in offices today. Many of these phones are beyond repair because parts aren't available to fix outdated devices. Whether it's a traditional phone system or cloud-based VoIP technology, Hamilton Business Phones can help upgrade your connection. We make it easy to sync your office phone with your cell for seamless call handling, no matter where you work. If your current office phone can't do this, you deserve better. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Whether you're looking for a place to stay for a concert at PBA, a Nebraska home game, or just a night on the town, the Courtyard Lincoln Downtown Haymarket is the place for you. Enjoy an evening at one of many restaurants or bars within a short walking distance. Business travelers at the hotel will enjoy free high-speed internet access, a 24-hour business center, and large in-room workstations. And check out the Bistro, where you'll enjoy healthier food and beverage options, as well as high-tech conveniences. Book your room today at the Courtyard Lincoln Downtown Haymarket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and our annual spring sales event is now underway. We have absolutely huge savings right now at Koppel. New Sierras and new Silverados have a double whammy. Choose from APR starting at 1.9% or discounts over $9,000. Yes, that's right, 1.9% APR or discounts of over $9,000. So please take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street just south of the interstate, or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
24/7 threat monitoring, expert tech support, streamlined communications. Allo has a solution for that. Protect your business with Allo Business. Comprehensive firewall security, Microsoft Teams voice-integrated communications, cybersecurity and IT support managed by experts. From productivity to peace of mind, Allo has a solution for that. Allo means business. Protect your business by visiting allofiber.com/business.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Once again, big thanks to Evan Bland for joining us on our Allo VIP line. Big thanks to Allo for sponsoring that, as well as Channel 961. Austin and Strick back with you for another few minutes as we put a bow on hour one of On the Block. Strick, did you see? Nebraska's number 3.
Yeah, man.
We talked about top 25.
We balling, baby. We balling. We got some things going on right here. Tell me what it's about, though.
So, U.S. News and World Report put out its annual best state rankings, and Nebraska came in number 3 overall. Not just top 25. We're done with that. Bump that.
Top 5.
We're in the old college football playoff right now, Stricky. We're 3 seed.
God darn it.
Bring it.
Listen, man. Streaky came back for a reason.
Yeah, what are those reasons?
What I just saw right now. Top 5, baby. 3 is the matter of fact. So
behind Utah and New Hampshire.
Right. Now New Hampshire, I wouldn't have thought that. But okay. And give a breakdown on what they take into account. So there's some criteria in everything. I think sometimes when you get into GOAT debates and you get in these type of debates, you want to understand the fullness of the criteria. That criteria is it deals with the economy, how fiscally responsible they are, where they sit with regards to crime, education, the healthcare, and where we sit in healthcare is 25. I mean, top 25 in that. It's a surprise because when you think about, the med center and you think about, some of the medical facilities that we have here, and there are people that sometimes come in here for those specific reasons.
Who even knows if they factored in global open wound care?
Right.
That would bump that up a few spots at least, I would think.
But I think what's dope, especially when you're talking about the today and how, sometimes fiscally irresponsible our government can be, and how, inflation, and you're dealing with just a lot of the issues and the problems to be, fiscally stable and have your infrastructure and stuff, stuff that other places. Now, I will say that I've seen some potholes but stuff like that is pretty dope. That's pretty cool. Education sits at 14, the economy's at 19. And I'll drive. Sometimes people will come and visit and they'll be like, well, where are the businesses? Where are the money? And you'll see these big old houses and these beautiful homes. And you're like, well, where are all the people working? And, but that's pretty cool that, to be at that place, to find ourselves there.
Right. So yeah, the 8 categories were crime and corrections, education, healthcare, natural environment, economy, fiscal stability, infrastructure, and opportunity. The lowest rank was healthcare at number 25. So above average in literally every single category. The highest ranks were fiscal stability and then infrastructure. Some other states that stood out: Nebraska's ahead of Minnesota, Iowa, is at number 6, which is far too high if you ask me. Florida is down at number 9. Massachusetts at 10. What if you had to guess, Strick?
I'm surprised by the state of Washington.
50.
Let me be honest. But anyway, who?
If you had to guess who number 50
California
is, California comes in at 37.
50. Okay, wait. What are we talking about? Overall?
Yeah, overall. The
New
worst
York.
state, according to U.S. News and
New
World
York.
Report. No, I scrolled past New York, but it is not 50. It is below the Mason-Dixon line. It's an SEC territory. I'll give you that.
Mississippi.
Mississippi is 48.
You better not say Alabama.
New Mexico, 49.
I was going to say New Mexico. You better not say Alabama.
Alabama, 44.
Okay.
Louisiana.
Really?
50th, crime and corrections. 47th, education. 46th, healthcare. 49th, natural environment. 49th, economy. 41st, fiscal stability. 49th, infrastructure. 44th, opportunity.
You would have. That's crazy. And you know, I think you should check this out, everybody, because it also has breakdowns where it'll give you who's number one in each of those categories. So so in essence, you can literally look at it from a standpoint of what's important to you, right? Because to be honest, as much of what I know about Boston, to have Boston in the top or Massachusetts in the top 10, you got to think about it. It's not just considering the big cities. It's taking into account all of them. But you know, a lot of those southern states, I can understand that, you know, being where they are.
Text line 402-464-5685. Comment section, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. What's your favorite thing about Nebraska? Let us know. We'll get to that. Huskers P, you send us a picture of your granddaughter. Again, congratulations, Grandpa. That is incredible. She's a doll. Absolutely beautiful. Hope that mom and baby are both doing well. Again, congratulations. That is fantastic. We'll take a break. When we get back, there's a new tournament, new multi-team event going on in Las Vegas. Stricky's favorite traffic to deal with outside of LA. We'll talk about it. 7 of the 8 teams are set. Who else would want to participate? And is it sustainable long-term? Can they get the money for it? We'll talk about that and plenty more in hour 2 of the show when we get back.
Community means something different to everyone. But for me, it means cheering on those around you during the good times and helping them out during the tough times. I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I've been blessed with the support of my friends, family, coaches, and community throughout my life. When looking for a bank to call home, it was easy to choose Midwest Bank. I never feel like just another customer, and they're proud to support their communities. They love what they do, and it shows. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Hey Nebraska! Register today for the 40th annual Cornhusker State Games, taking place July 11th through the 21st in Lincoln, Omaha, and other Nebraska communities. The Cornhusker State Games features 70 sports for athletes of all ages and abilities. Price increases are approaching, so register early and save. For details, go to cornhuskerstategames.com. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel with Gatorade, brought to you by Pepsi Cola of Lincoln, a proud partner of the Cornhusker State Games.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Power combo BOGO? Huh?
Yes, if you purchase an air conditioner, you receive a furnace completely free. At John Henry's, our professionals want to ensure you are comfortable in your home all year long, no matter what Nebraska has to throw at us. Call today to schedule your free estimate and learn more about the free furnace waiting for you. Give John Henry's a call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in April. Try their brand new cake batter cream cheese on any breakfast sandwich. And try the caramel latte, as 10% of proceeds from that drink will go to the Foundation for Lincoln Public Schools. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels and Joe. Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Homeowners, is your yard in distress? Is your lawn being held hostage by stubborn and unruly weeds? Never fear, lawn lovers. Weedman is here. We'll rescue your lawn and restore its beautiful emerald green glory. The results of our expertly applied program are sure to impress the toughest of critics, your neighbors. Take that, Dale. Vanquish weeds and transform your lawn this year with Weedman Lawn Care. Get 50% off your first application. Go to weedman.com today. Terms and conditions apply. Go to weedman.com today.
It's officially one of the greatest weeks of the year on the sports calendar, Masters Week. Book your tee time today with friends, family, or coworkers at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Doors open at 10 a.m. from Thursday to Sunday, and they'll have food directly from Augusta National, like pimento cheese sandwiches, Georgia pecan caramel popcorn, and lots more, plus specialty drinks to get you in the mood for the greatest golf tournament in the world. Book a bay today at doubleeagle.golf.
School tells you all about the 4 seasons: spring, summer, and so on. And then there's a way we really tell what time of year it is. Sports seasons: football season, baseball season, or even off season. Well, what's the chocolate season? Well, it's now, of course. And now, and always. Whether you're looking for a caffeinated pick-me-up on the way to work, a little snack on the way home, or you need the perfect gift that's sure to be appreciated, it's time for the chocolate season, y'all. 40th and Old Cheney, or order ahead at thechocolatseason.com. See you there.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere sprayer during Landmark Implement's Fast Start Early Order program. Leverage the industry's latest technology with See and Spray to target weeds in season in corn and soybeans and use less herbicide per acre. Utilize Exact Apply to save in chemical usage and prevent over-application. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year during Landmark Implement's Fast Start Early Order program. Contact your local Landmark location for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
Attention all Wings fans! 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for 3! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome in hour 2 of the show, brought to you by our good friends at Nebco. Nebco and Constructors is hiring for all positions with immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Join the crew today to be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. Laborers start at $23 and up based on experience. You can visit nebcoinc.com or constructorslincoln.com. Leaning into basketball here in hour 2 of the show, we will start in the college ranks with a kind of novel concept here, Strick. We brought up Vegas a lot with the guys in the crossover with the happy hour, and we're talking Vegas again here because there's a new event coming to the feast week, as it's been known, the week of Thanksgiving, when a lot of these MTEs, multi-team events, are being played. The catch with this one in Las Vegas is it's called the Players Era Festival. Live music a part of this. A lot of Vegas stuff going on, other attractions. The benefit for the schools, and specifically the student athletes, is that each school that participates will earn $1 million in NIL to distribute to the roster.
Is that a start? Because I thought it said 1 up to 2.
It will. Here's what the CBS Sports article says. In a college sports first, the event will also include $1 million NIL payouts for 8 participating schools.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
If you sign up for this MTE, you agree to it, boom, there's $1 million. Just that fast. Why would you not sign up for this event if you have $1 million just sitting there to go to Vegas, play a couple games, and then distribute it to your roster?
Well, it depends on how problematic it could be, right? It depends on, obviously, to me, it sounds like a model of live, right? And when I'm talking about live, I'm talking about the golf, the golf stuff, right? They throw a lot of money, throw a lot of money into it, hoping to generate. For me, we've briefly talked about this, but for me, live was basically an advertising budget that was thrown out to raise profiles, to change narratives, to help people to want to come to your Dubais and come to your Abu Dhabis or whatever. It was really a marketing point, because now it's putting stuff on. So there's a lot of stuff entailed in that. So for me, this comes off similar because of the direction that NIL is going. You throw a lot of money at it up front. This then causes people to either step up their game, change the way they've been doing things, because it's playing on the psyche. Because I venture to say there's not any teams that go to the Maui Classics, the Rainbow Classics, the
Bahamas,
any of these different classics are getting that kind of money.
No.
Like the school is, but not necessarily. So one of the things that I thought that was interesting, I don't know if this model is sustainable. It's going to depend on, how much traction it's able to get in the next few years. The interest, it seems to me that it's very NBA in-season tournament-ish, trying to throw that out there. But for the teams that are playing, they're excited. These MTEs that they're going to now, they're like, okay, that's cool, but if this can help my one game, like go play, well, a minimum of one game. Probably they play a minimum of 2. If you lose, you might play one more, maybe.
It depends on how they set it up, because it sounds like, at least in the first year, it's going to be an 8-team bracket. So just like, Maui, just like Atlantis, where you have your, first place game, third place game, fifth place game, seventh place game. They could also do it kind of just round robin in pools of 4. So you go down, you play 3 games against the other 3 teams.
Get seeded.
Right. If you want to, depending, it's 3 days. So my guess is if you do the pods, it's not getting seeded after that, because it'll be in and out after that.
So they're starting out with 8. They're looking to add in the 2025 year, double it.
Another 8. Yep.
But what I found interesting is this, they're playing with this. Players, in the article it says, players will also be eligible to sign on to a 10% equity stake in Players Era in perpetuity.
Explain that for people, Strick. Perpetuity, that's a nice word. Put it in a dictionary.
That's like a continuation of however long this thing is running if you invest into it. But here's the deal. I think personally, and I could be wrong, that is in a contractual agreement to keep players from lawsuiting.
Mm-hmm.
We gave you an option to get in. So instead of paying the players individually, as a group or whatever, for any marketing of the event, for your name being strewn on anything on TV, it's basically you have an opportunity to get a 10% stake on. So are you going to bet on yourself? Are you going to bet in? I think that's pretty dope. As a young player, if I could have had an opportunity to invest into something, to look into it, or to be in the early stages of something like that goes on, like just think of what that could do for you. It's like you're basically learning how to get in the stock market.
Right.
Right?
Just like that.
Investment.
Right.
You're establishing an investment portfolio early in your career, and you may not even fully understand what investing is. I wish they would have done that, listeners. I ain't gonna lie.
You never lie.
There's
Stricky.
so many.
You
things.
only talk facts.
Facts. That's coming out tomorrow, but we're not going to be on tomorrow. I think Supernovas are playing. But listen, real talk. I really do wish universities, or we could go back to old school high schools. Like, I don't even know if they do this anymore, because I've rarely seen it, Austin, where in high school, like, you used to learn how to weld. Like you would get your feet wet, or a little taste of what it's like in the marketplace of some form of trade. Auto mechanics. Like, you could take an auto class where you learn how to work on cars. There was, like, we learned in one class construction. There's some form, they call it home ec,
like wood shop, metal shop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. In college, I'm gonna be real with you, man. They don't have financial,
Financial literacy.
Yes.
Hey, shout out our friends at Union Bank for that, by the way.
They don't teach you financial literacy.
A business minor, a business major is not financial literacy.
No. Like, I think how they in the early stages, you get these classes where they're non-core, or are they called core? What are they called? Where you just kind of get a chance to test the waters and kind of see which direction you want to go for a major?
I know in the journalism college, they're called ACEs. So you have your major courses, but then you also have just your kind of gen eds outside of that you kind of dabble in.
Like, a part of that, that should be part of your curriculum. To me, and I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on, in some ways it makes me feel that they want us to be dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, dumb us down to where we're not able to really understand the depths of things that are happening. Like, even in the NIL stuff, like, why not teach a class on it?
I'm sure Nebraska does something like that for the student athletes, because if these universities are just letting their student athletes out into the deep ocean with the sharks, that reputation's going to get sullied really quick. If you're not there for your student athletes, you're not helping teach them, you're not going to be in the student athlete business very long.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that in the NBA, they did a pretty good job. I mean, I know they would come around, at least once or twice a year, and we would have different meetings. A lot of them were talking about, things, intimate things that go on out in the world to be careful about.
Is that like the rookie symposium sort of thing?
Well, I mean, they would do it in season, and they would do it in rookie symposium stuff too. But it's very surface, very surface minded type of content. It's not, it's not deep. You know what I mean? Like, the stuff I would tell a young player is not what the information you get.
Right.
Like, I tell a young player, have three attorneys.
Not one, not two.
Three
Mm-hmm.
minimum. And the reason being is you want to create a circle of people around you that you want to have people close to you, because here's the thing, people close to you can just go back and look at Kareem's, and you can go back and look at Sean Kemp's, and you can just go back and look at people, Dennis Rodman's, who had people they trusted next to them that were able to siphon off. Kareem didn't play all them years because he wanted to. You know what I mean? Like, he played because in some instances he had to.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have like Bernie Madoff situations where, you get kind of in and then,
Shohei Ohtani's translator situations.
You know what I'm saying? You got those. So I always say, have people close to you, but then you have people non-biased outside that can look into and do like these little mini audits on people around you. So you have multiple attorneys. So if you're reading one track from one attorney, it would be no different than having a doctor where you go get a second opinion. Just go get multiple second opinions to make sure the information you're getting is coming back the same. Because if then there's not, then you say, okay, hey, look into this for me. Now you got, you know what I mean? Because now you're seeing something kind of funny. The language has changed, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is how you kind of keep yourself from getting caught in these little situations.
That's why I think there are some big names on the outside looking in of this festival in Vegas. The teams that are in it right now, 7 of the 8 teams are Bama. Should be pretty good. Not a huge basketball name. Houston still developing as a basketball school. Notre Dame should be better, but hasn't been great. Oregon.
Shrewsbury's there, right?
He is, yes. Oregon, they're fine. Rutgers is Rutgers. Yeah. San Diego State, who's been a really solid kind of mid-major team. And then Texas A&M. That's the 7 of the 8 for this year. But Strick, the schools that are looking into it, having discussions for next year, Duke, Gonzaga, Kansas, Michigan, Syracuse, Virginia. Not all the big boys, but definitely bigger names in the basketball realm.
So they're letting them do the test. They're basically the test dummies.
Right. See what the language is, see how it works out.
Yeah.
And the biggest part for me is see how legit the funding is.
Yeah.
$1 million per school. That seems like a lot because you
So
look
that's
at
$8 million minimum off top. Go ahead.
And maybe even 9 because there's potential clauses in there for the winning team of this MTE to get another $1 million for appearances. And they've been very clear about it. It's not just you show up, you sign your name to play, you get $1 million. The student athletes actually have to be out at events in Vegas. They'll be doing something. There's a little quid pro quo there. So it all seems above board. It seems like there's good financial backing for now. But there's a paragraph in here. Let me scroll down and see if I can find it. Okay, so yeah, here we go. The highest profile regular season events, so your Maui's, your Bahamas, your Atlantis, things like that, hope to earn $1 to $2 million in profits.
That's what I was seeing. Okay.
So they hope to
That's
earn
what they're
1 to 2.
hoping when they put these events on
Total.
to get back.
Yeah, not per team. 1 to 2 total.
Yeah, right.
This would also mark a sea change in college basketball due to private equity investing, influencing how teams schedule, thus likely affecting how MTEs in the future are operating. Private equity being introduced into college sports, we see it a little bit through collectives, but to have outside companies putting on these big events, paying schools that amount to get there, as a Duke basketball fan myself, there's plenty of scrutiny on Duke anyways. I would not want them jumping into a big event like this, sight unseen, just for a quick $1 million, right? I can get why Alabama, Houston, Rutgers looking to raise their profile, would say, hey, take the mill. If Nebraska gets invited, you can always use NIL help, especially on the basketball front. I'd say Nebraska should probably jump into it before
independent.
Yes, before one of these bigger
of any
schools.
Collectives.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to be able to. This is why I feel bad. I really do. I feel bad for Fred because I know they don't want to hire people, and I know they don't. But I think just like a coach, right? A coach goes out, scouts talent, looks at them, finds out intangibles, sees if there's fit, how would they fit, and then what's the next step for them as a coach, as an assistant? They call the big guy, Fred, Bill Self, whoever it is. They call the big guy. Hey man, coach, look, we found something that I think is going to be a good fit. I need you to come down, or I need you to come into the gym. You might be at, in Vegas, you might be at T-Mobile. I need you to come over to Mac, and check this kid's playing at such and such time, right? I think you should do that with NIL. It's already hard out here. Here's why. Again, I've said that Nebraska has one of the biggest alumni bases across the country, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't limit yourself with NIL to only locality. There's not enough. We just looked at the
best states ranking.
The best states ranking.
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska has under 2 million people. So yes, the economy's good. Yes, you generate. I think it was over 100 million in GDP. 100 billion. I think no, 100 million.
Probably million.
Yeah, it was like 100. Yeah. I think 190 something million in GDP. Cool, but at the same time, don't limit yourself to the locality. There's only a certain amount of places you can go. So you want somebody to be able to hire a small amount of staff, somebody to head it, and a couple of others, because there's no way one person can handle that solo, so that you can go across the country. You can go meet with the alumni foundations up in New York. There could be big businesses there. You can go, and then once you you read the room, understand the meeting, see where we want to go. Hey, Fred, you might want to get out here next week, to lock this down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
He can't do that. I think they have to operate independently of collectives, because to me, collectives will be, their primary focus will be on cash cow.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Which in most instances are going to be football, unless you're in Kentucky.
Right.
You're probably going to have still football, but you're going to have a high percentage of that going towards basketball.
Well, Kentucky, Kansas, the North Carolina schools are really the exceptions. Otherwise, it's all going to be glad-handing football.
Exactly. So, I mean, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So let me maybe even take it a step further. What Nebraska might need to do is reach out to its alumni, right? And not all of them have, tons of money, but if you have a big chapter in Phoenix, a big chapter in
which Phoenix
in LA,
I think is the largest,
in Orlando or wherever in Florida, if you have one in the Northeast, try to cycle through multi-team events in those locations. Talk to those boosters, talk to those fans and say, hey, would you get to know these people organizing this event? Pay them to bring us here. We get paid. That's the way you can support us best. That's visibility across the country. It's checking in on all those groups on a rotating basis. And to your main point, it's not just pulling from inside the state's borders. Because even if the passion is there, the fire is there, the excitement is there, it's a numbers game. Might not be bad money, but it's not good enough money in this day and age. You got to source it elsewhere.
There you go. I don't know. I was just spitballing, man. It's sometimes my little business mind starts thinking about little things, and I understand you don't want to add people.
But you got to spend money to make money.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on the vision. It depends on the vision and the visionary, or what you're saying. Sometimes it's bottom line is all you're thinking about. Sometimes, you're not willing to think out of the box. Sometimes, so you get stuck. You end up getting Blockbuster mentality, Kmart mentality, or those type of things, and you end up missing. And then somebody else pops up, a Creighton pops up and does it, or somebody,
Netflix
and you're like,
up.
wait a minute. Wait, now we might need to jump on it. You could have been ahead of it.
Mm-hmm. You had every advantage and you let it slip.
And now you're behind the 8 ball trying to catch up.
Last thing on this is a good discussion. We're on stream. We're going to keep it going here. The other big part of this to me, Strick, is that they don't have linear TV for this event lined up yet, right? It's over Feast Week, or that's ESPN's big deal. CBS will carry some of this, even Fox to some degree. But this Players Era Festival, right now, the plan is to go stream only. And I know that seemed like the way of the future for a while, but the Peacock numbers haven't been great. The Paramount numbers haven't been great. To me, the bulk of this funding is probably going to have to come from a major TV network who doesn't want to probably spend too much on it with all the other way their resources are spread. But I think you know what you're getting from TV networks. So if I were one of these organizers, my pitch is, hey, what smaller MTE can we kick off the air to put us on? Because that's going to be the most sustainable funding.
Yeah. Where do you go? Like, that's what I think you want to look into is how can you create sustainability in this whole thing?
Right.
I don't know. I would like to look more into it and find out what they're trying to accomplish. You're only going to make so much on merchandising. How you market in the local regions. If you're going with that, I don't think stream models succeed. I mean, you can just go look at them.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of like right now, just recent, and I could be wrong, but like HBO Max has separated itself outside of certain things. You can go on HBO Max on the streaming site now and just watch movies.
Mm-hmm.
You used to couldn't do that. Like you literally had to go through the system. I believe they're doing that to raise viewership. And then all of a sudden, now you slow play and enter in and get subscriberships. And then you start incrementally raising pricing. But just look at like places like Peacock. Like, think of how crazy that was trying to watch games on Peacock.
It worked, but people weren't happy about it.
Yeah, they're not happy. They're not happy. I don't know if those models work. Apple TV, they're probably starting. Like, there's things that you just it just doesn't work. I think the broad scale, like your Netflixes and your Hulus, I get it. Even Hulu's trying to, ESPN was trying to figure out how to get in on that because their linear models just wasn't generating anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Your CNN tried to bounce out, and CNN was benefiting heavily on being in airports.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because the TV's always on, it's always, so you're getting viewership just out of that.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people got off of that and they went to a model and that thing crashed like
immediately. Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I just don't know if those models work.
There's
in the long haul.
Right. I'm with you on that. There's a lot there. We'll keep monitoring that. Nebraska will be playing in the Diamond Head Classic. Should be over the week of Christmas.
Where's that?
Hawaii, Honolulu. So if you like our coverage of basketball, if you like Stricky and I and want to send us on vacation over Christmas, text in, sponsor an on the block trip to Hawaii, maybe.
Yeah, and then
the seed.
Yeah, we can discuss kind of what the benefits. Yeah, what the benefits could be in that. Whether it be with show or with meetings or with coming and remotes and even meeting us out there. There's some things that we can definitely discuss. We'd love to meet with you. Guess where? Right here at the mill.
1040 O Street, over coffee.
We can have, or wine. Yeah,
coffee,
we got it all
ale.
right here. So yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. If you're a business out there and you're just looking for a way to connect and raise your profile and of course send a couple of handsome guys down there to cover the Huskers, we'd be open to it.
We would be. Also open to a good Royals rally. They were up 3-2 entering the 8th inning. They're now up 6-2. Bobby Witt Jr. solo home run. And then the lines kept moving from there. So Royals up 4 in the bottom of the 8th. Brewers going through a pitching change. We'll take a break. When we get back, what NFL players would you like to see in the NBA? Let us know. 402-464-5685. Got a list of potential options to go through, but we want your names as well. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, as well as the Starter Heyman text line open for your ideas for NFL players you would like to see. Give the NBA potentially a shot. We'll talk about that when we get back.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Hey, Husker Nation, Matt Davison here with 1890. It's an exciting time to be a Husker fan, and to keep that momentum going, we need your help. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics, and we're doing the same through name, image, and likeness. NIL is a unique opportunity for every Husker fan to have a direct impact on the success of our programs. Through 1890, 100% of your contribution goes to the student athletes. So go to 1890nebraska.com, choose your sport, become a member, and help the Huskers recruit and retain the best. Go Big Red.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
If the week's been too hectic to even think about dinner, or your family can't handle one more night of leftovers, then it's time to let Hog Wild do the cooking. Hog Wild's family packs are one heck of a good deal for a complete barbecue meal loaded with all the smoked meats, tasty sides, buns, and sauces you need to feed your family. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
The need in our community, if you just look at the numbers, it's frightening. We're serving over 1,000 kids every day. With the passion of our people, I really feel like our potential to be of even greater service to kids and families who are struggling is just unlimited. But in order to have the greatest impact, we need all the help we can get from the community.
NEBCO is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEBCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEBCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
This is Coach Bill Bush. You all know my passion for Nebraska. Having coached all over the country, I can honestly say there is no place like Nebraska. You know where there's also no place like? Midwest Bank. Midwest Bank has proudly served Nebraska for over 70 years, and they're located in 9 different communities. Midwest Bank is ready, willing, and able to meet all your personal, business, and agriculture needs. Your community, your bank, and mine, Midwest Bank. Find out more at Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Your business runs like a well-oiled machine. It's important that your actual machines do too. Stern is here to make sure you don't have to worry about that. They provide solutions for heavy equipment and automotive fuels, lubricants, and equipment guard options. And with Stern's commitment to customer service for the past 40 years, you know you have a partner to help support your operations for years to come. Contact Roger at Stern Company by calling 1-800-477-2744 or visit them online at stern.co. Stern Company, where problems meet solvers.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations. Guess what?
What?
There's 5 Lincoln locations now. Oh my gosh. That's 25% more Lincoln locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? Feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11th, located right alongside 93.7 The Ticket Studios, 1040 O Street.
Hey guys, it's Bill Bush. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty has opened a new location in Pender, Nebraska, in addition to their office in Lincoln. The real estate world can be confusing, so why wouldn't you want an expert helping you every step of the way? If you're looking to buy or sell farmland in Nebraska, Kansas, or Iowa, give Ethan Sorensen a call today at 402-380-0432 or visit them online at nextagrealestate.com. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty with locations in Lincoln and now Pender, Nebraska.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Still looking for your names of NFL players you would potentially like to see get a shot in the NBA. Probably just training camp to get a look on them. We'll get to that in a sec, but I just saw this on Twitter, Strick. Ian Begley, who covers the NBA, specifically, I believe, the Knicks and the Nets for SNY TV. The official NBA refs, so NBA refs, will be hosting a ref watch party live tonight during Game 2 of Knicks-Pacers. Refs who are watching the game from the NBA Replay Center will analyze and react to calls made during the game. Are you watching the refs
break
watch
that down again?
Okay.
I want to make sure I'm hearing that correctly.
So a group of NBA refs are going to be at the NBA Replay Center watching Game 2 of Knicks-Pacers tonight on a live broadcast, reacting to the calls made in the game.
Live and on TV.
Live and on TV.
Why are they waiting until now? Why didn't they do it during the Lakers games?
I think you know why.
See, it's bogus because to me, it's bogus. Your Knicks are one of the top 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I can understand that. But the eyes, the microscope, the magnifying glass has been upon you. You're just looking for a way at this point to try to pacify the pessimists that believe that you, in a form or in a way, are orchestrating certain things. You have to do it because you're in the midst of a new TV deal. You have to make sure that the casual fans remain, or that the casual fans come. And your real fans don't lose interest because they feel some kind of way about the way that you're handling the business. So to me, I think it's bogus. I don't know. I could be wrong. I just think it's bogus.
Yeah, fair enough. Just thought I'd throw that
what
out
you
there.
think? 402-464-5685. How do you feel about it? I think it's a bogus move. Do you think it's bogus? Excuse me. If you think it's bogus, say bogus. If you think it's good, say good.
There you go. Also, give us the names of players from the NFL you'd like to see in the NBA. Justin Rogge says Amon-Ra St. Brown. Here's a receiver, Strick. Devin Funchess played a while in the NFL. He signed a contract with a team in Colombia to play basketball. Convenient timing since Austin Rivers just had his comments the other day. But the Sporting News put out an article of 30 potential NFL to NBA crossover players. Let's just go through the list. Some interesting names here. 3 that played basketball to some degree in college. Mo Alley-Cox, tight end from the Colts. Keon Coleman was a backup forward for Michigan State. And then Mason Pline, who I've never heard of, played at Furman. He's a tight end for the 49ers right now.
Well, I mean, one of the better ones to do it was Jimmy Graham, I think. And then
Antonio
Gates.
Tony Gonzalez, was he a Hooper? Yeah, Cal, wasn't he?
Cal.
Yeah.
Like I think if you can work it. I think I also know that there are certain people that come to an understanding and conclusion that this side of it may not work for me, i.e. Charlie Ward. At the time, I venture to say that Charlie Ward coming out now would have probably felt better on the football side of things. But I think he understood. He was probably in some way similar to me. I looked at the benefits of playing in one or the other and just came to the conclusion. And I'm not smart to say that I chose basketball over baseball. They gave me an option. I look like a smart guy because it worked out. Yeah, because it worked out. But they just said, "Hey, if it doesn't work out, you can come back." Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, shoot, why not? Let's go see what's going on. It worked out. So
sure did.
I think that some people come to the conclusion, Austin, that listen, this isn't the path. I've got a better path, and especially at those hybrid type positions. You know what I mean? Where you can use your athleticism, your physicality, your hops, because to you, a Moss, and when I'm talking about Moss, you go up and get it from, whoever. You're probably more, Moss gifted than a safety in some instances.
Sure.
Linebackers. You know what I mean? So to you, it's going up and getting a rebound.
That's all it is.
Right? You throw it high, go get it. You know what I'm saying? Throw it out, go get it. reach out, touch someone, bounce, block somebody out. You know, just like a block out. You run a route, hit somebody, just like you would do in boxing out for a rebound, turn, and keep them from getting around you. So it fits. Some certain positions I think fit.
Receiver, tight end.
Yeah, like for example, I don't know if I told you guys this, but actually John Lynch was in camp with us. He was with the Marlins. And I think if I remember, he might have been a pitcher. And then he just decided, football was going to be the pathway for him. Yeah, he was on that. I think he was on that first draft team, that first draft group with us. And we was out in Delray Beach.
Yeah, he was drafted second round, 92.
Yeah.
Let's see his numbers here. 92, he went 0-3 with a 2.15 ERA. 93, he went 1-0 with an even 3 ERA in just 2 games. So
yeah, he was solid. Had good stuff. It was solid.
Oh,
but
he's tricky. He had in his minor league career 19 strikeouts, 29 walks.
Yeah,
that man did not know where that ball was going.
He didn't know where it was going. He could throw it hard, just didn't know. But he came to the realization, you know what, this ain't the path for me.
Made a good choice after that.
Made a good choice.
How about this list of names from Sporting News? Guys that are in the NFL now. Would you or would you not like to see them get an NBA training camp invite? Bobby Wagner.
Nah. He might be like Draymond Green times 10. Nah.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. Yeah, he's giving me DiVincenzo vibes.
Ooh. Okay.
He's giving me Peyton
Sanford?
No, from Boston.
Yeah, Peyton Pritchard.
Peyton Pritchard vibes.
Okay.
He's giving me those. Okay.
CJ Stroud. Dropped 31 of the celebrity game.
CJ Stroud is giving me Josh Hart vibes.
Ooh, see, I get Clay.
You get Klay Thompson vibes?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's got a burner like that, but okay.
Cooper DeJean.
Good size, defensive lockdown. He's giving me Caruso vibes.
Ooh, okay. Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams. He's giving me Brandon Ingram vibes.
Ooh.
He's giving me a little bit of Brandon Ingram. Mild-mannered, handles business, gonna challenge you. If you step up, punks jump up to get beat. He's giving me that kind of vibe. Okay.
How about this? Former Hawaii Gatorade Basketball Player of the Year, DeForest Buckner.
Can't say for sure.
Okay. Drake May. His brother played at Carolina.
Actually, I think I've seen some video on Drake May. They say Drake can go a little.
Average
and I'm talking about not
junior.
Drizzy Drake. He ain't on stage, but he gets buckets, I heard. Okay. Yeah.
Garrett Wilson.
Can't say for sure.
Jadeveon Clowney.
He's giving me Rodman vibes.
There it is.
He's giving me Rodman vibes.
Would they hold the plane for him, though?
No. They sure did. They sure did for Dennis, that's for sure.
Okay. You get your pick of one of these two players from the Cincinnati Bengals. Jamar Chase or Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow's giving me Stockton vibes.
He was first team All-State in Ohio.
He's giving me Stockton vibes. Drop a dime on you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can see that. Jamar Chase is giving me Jalen Brunson vibes.
Ooh, I get Davion Mitchell vibes.
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think, just kind of dog, you line up in front of me, I'm going to give you this 1-2, this cross with the bump and go. Yeah, I see it.
3 defensive ends or edge rushers here. Take your pick. We'll do a draft here. You get first pick. Max Crosby, Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett.
Micah Parsons for me. Versatile. Two-way player. Get me buckets. Yeah, I could see him on that.
I got Myles Garrett at power forward.
I knew you was gonna take Myles Garrett.
I knew you were going to take Micah Parsons.
Crosby's a beast.
He is.
Like I'm
not
even fighting him. Don't get it twisted. Like he's actually low key. He's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Nick Foles?
He's giving me
Kyle Korver vibes.
No, he's giving me Parsons. Chandler Parsons vibes.
Dang. Dang.
He's giving me Chandler Parsons.
What about Patrick Mahomes? Dad's
somebody in there right now. He's giving me what's his name? Kyle Lowry vibes.
With the dad bod? Dang.
He's giving me straight Kyle Lowry vibes. For sure.
Let's see. Puka Nacua. Your boy.
I like him, but I just can't say. I can't pick
Saquon Barkley. Quadzilla.
He's giving me a backup like
Pat Bev minus the attitude.
Dang. You know what? He's giving me Jimmy Butler vibes.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, he's giving me a little Jimmy Butler vibe.
T. Higgins had Division I offers to play basketball from Louisville, Tennessee, and Auburn.
T. Higgins. Now I think T. Higgins can go a little bit.
I get Malik Monk from him.
Do you?
I do.
Damn, I can't picture it right now. I can't picture it.
Let's see. Travis Kelce. He would be a Laker and bring T Swift to Celebrity Row.
Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
Giving me Kelly Olynyk vibes for some reason.
Kelsey Olynyk?
Yeah. Yeah, Kelsey Olynyk. That's what he's giving me.
Any others? Any other NFL players?
Not off the top of my head. What do you think? What do the people think?
What about LeBron? Your boy. Would he? Well, I guess that'd be the inverse, right?
Opposite.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Anthony Richardson.
Dang,
Also, your Chandler Parsons thing is out of pocket because Kirk Cousins was right there.
Kirk Cousins was right there?
Kirk Cousins is Chandler Parsons.
No.
Strikey. It was right there for you.
It was right there for me?
It was right there for you.
Yeah, you're right. I probably should have went with that.
I'm trying to think through Josh Jacobs.
Can't picture him. Big body.
Lamar?
I guess if you go Josh Jacobs, maybe what's my guy? Draymond Green. Maybe him.
Lamar Jackson? Or Jalen Hurts?
Wow. That's a tough one. Cause he's maybe Kyrie
for Lamar. I like that. I really like that.
Yeah, maybe Kyrie.
I like it.
Yeah.
If you have any final thoughts, let us know. 402-464-5685. Jay Foreman will be on stream. I saw DP walking around. We'll see if we can bring him in for a quick crossover to wrap things up next.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
Hey Nebraska! Register today for the 40th Annual Cornhusker State Games, taking place July 11th through the 21st in Lincoln, Omaha, and other Nebraska communities. The Cornhusker State Games features 70 sports for athletes of all ages and abilities. Price increases are approaching, so register early and save. For details, go to cornhuskerstategames.com. If you've experienced a sports injury, joint or back pain, trust your care to Nebraska Orthopedic Center, a proud platinum partner of the Cornhusker State Games.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hello? Believe it or not, old phones are one of the most common pain points in offices today. Many of these phones are beyond repair because parts aren't available to fix outdated devices. Whether it's a traditional phone system or cloud-based VoIP technology, Hamilton Business Phones can help upgrade your connection. We make it easy to sync your office phone with your cell for seamless call handling, no matter where you work. If your current office phone can't do this, you deserve better. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back one final time here during On the Block. Let's get everyone in picture there. I can do that. Austin Norman, Erick Strickland.
Yeah.
DP, successful road trip. DP.
Outstanding road trip.
Saw some good action out there.
Yeah.
Who handled Vegas better, Nick or Rico?
Oh, I'll get in trouble.
Okay.
I'll get in trouble.
You can answer off air. That's fine.
But I'm proud of them both. You guys both can kind of relate that sometimes I ask y'all to take a leap of faith in an idea and a thing that you maybe haven't done or a thing that I believe in, and then you have to show and deliver for it. And to watch Rico, who at some various point in our time here at the Ticket, he didn't want to be on air. Like he wanted to just run in and say his thing and then run back off, and go hide. And I said, no, you're better than that. You're better than that. Watch. And now they're producing pro sports at the highest level in the United States via the Ticket. And Nick jumped on the road. And Strick, you get this, that if you're around an elite group of athletes who have a routine and a chemistry, that sometimes adding somebody to that chemistry, they won't accept it if it's not right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to have them accept Nick quickly and shout his accolades that, wow, that's a solid young man, which is the kind of the statement as the proud dad of the station, that when you hear that your kids are growing up and they're doing a good job. Like, that's all you want as a dad, as a coach.
Yeah.
Tell me my young people are growing forward and up, and we'll be satisfied. So to both of them, to both Nick and Rico, again, I've asked a lot. I can be a handful. And on the road, to have them step up in the pro environment in Vegas, no less, and handle your business. Even the Vegas people shouted out how good the ticket broadcast and group was. And to have them, we've had the other teams in the federation ask for us to do for them next year what we did for Omaha. And that's a big statement. It's amazing to find out how many people in these towns we go to are listening to us, even when we're doing Supernovas radio. They said, we tune in to hear you talk about the federation because you're knowledgeable. You see everybody. So we had Coach Saunders do her all Pro Volleyball Federation team for this year, right? And the responses we got were so good. Because one, she knows it.
Yeah.
She knows it.
She is that.
Right? Right. And we had some folks coming this morning for waffles, and they said, DP, the fact that you've learned volleyball in a short period of time and turn it into a broadcast, because the radio call for volleyball is different than anything I've ever done. And they said, no, that's amazing because that's knowledgeable. And I said, I sit next to a nine consecutive time state championship volleyball coach. If I don't shut up when she's talking and listen, I'm wasting
It's a gym.
all of that, right? That's a two-sport Division I athlete right there, right? She can talk about it from the preparation side. She can talk about it from the leadership side.
Adjustments.
Right? She can talk about it from the development side. And so we came up with this thing, and I want to share it because it was so deep when it hit, that the greatest coaches are coached while coaching. And I just went, man, that's it. The best coaches learn while they're coaching at the highest level. They continue to learn while they're doing this thing called coaching. If any coach feels like he can turn off his or her ears, right, during the process, you miss out.
Yeah.
And there we are, bro. Like, you can look at everybody that's in the NBA playoffs. These are coaches who are learning as they go. And it changes from night to night because they're smarter in game 3 than they are in game 2. They have more data. They have more information. They have more experience and knowledge. They just went through the thing. The players, the best players, are better in game 3 than they were in game 2.
I.e. Ant-Man.
Right? Like, right?
Shit.
Right? It's tricky. You see them growing.
My God.
Right? You see them growing right in front of you, which
Yeah.
is such accelerated learning that in the NBA playoffs, that you have to consume information and data so quickly in such abundance, and then you're trying to
Jalen Brunson.
Right?
Like, these guys is like going to a whole nother level.
Well, think about Minnesota playing without Gobert and finding new facets of the game to excel at.
Yeah.
Whoa. And if you're
and
Denver,
players to step up.
right? If you're like, wait a minute. You have to ask the question. Well, wait a minute. What are we supposed to do with that?
Yeah. But here's something, DP, that's sad. But it happens all the time. It's part of the political game that is played in these arenas, unfortunately. For example, I'm going to start with the NFL, and you will be able to understand where I'm going.
Okay.
It's hard for a organization to choose, or even the voters, to choose the MVP and the offensive player of the year, and it be the same person. It's hard for them in college to choose the Heisman, and then there's a award or two for offensive player of the year to give it to him to overwhelm the awards. So even though their numbers speak to it and it's qualified, it's sad to see the NBA give Defensive Player of the Year to Rudy Gobert after what Wembanyama just did, just because he won Rookie of the Year, to not give that man the numbers.
Well, he had the most steals and blocks combined of anyone in the NBA as a rookie.
There you go. Like that's unbelievable to me that would happen, but it's part of the political game. But how you see it?
So understand that when people talk about the media, air quotes, the media, put them in air quotes. First of all, most of who they're talking about are people who aren't inside the game or deeply rooted in the X and O of the game.
Good point.
There are some data folks who will look at numbers rather than, hey, wait a minute, here's case in point. That if you took...
You're talking about... So now you're dealing with impact and...
Right?
That, just the numbers. It's okay.
That there were guys that Strickland played with and against who defensively each night were asked to do minimal things well.
Okay.
And in Gobert's case, it is a matter of impact, right? That people just know that he is so excelling at putting his hand to a shot that they don't ask him to do a lot of other things well. Strickland also, in that case, when I put Strick on the floor, I'm going to ask him to do more well than the player that excels at a thing. I'm going to ask Strick to defend 1 through 5. I'm going to allow my other defensive players to switch and have less of a burden because Strick will get to the place, be a better help defender, will have better balance on the wing and on the block. That if he gets switched to a big, Strick can still hold it down with minimal help. I've then asked him to do more defensively than anybody else on the floor.
Oh, and handle the ball.
Play make, etc. So people don't always understand what's being asked. The Defensive Player of the Year, they know the big long fellow, right? They know the dude with the big wingspan who blocks shots. And quite frankly, there are bigs who don't attack him in the paint because they can't win.
Right.
Wembanyama is the first unicorn who could defend from low post left side to right wing 3-point line. We've never seen that before, or at least we haven't since Kevin Durant was a baby. And then we asked him to do less of that.
Right.
Hakeem Olajuwon was also another last
mid LeBron.
Right? That who could defend from the lower left box, right? Well, Rodman's, to me, literally, and I wanted to have that discussion today. That literally was my point. I'm glad you went there. That to talk about the best defensive players in the NBA history, historically, you have to say, what are you asking? What are you defining as the best defensive player? And the first one that came to mind in that checklist of 10 things, and Strick, I'll ask you before you leave today to come up with the 5 primary things defensively you're asked to do in the NBA, then the secondary 5. And some of it, I guarantee your list is positionless. And then there are those who would make the list based on the defensive position. Point guards, what you're trying to do, side of the floor. You know what? I'm going to cut the floor in half. I'm only going to defend from free throw line to top of the 3-point line considered in reduced space. I'm not going to ask you to defend sideline to sideline. I'm going to cut the floor in half. I'm going to do it that way. But the first person that came to mind that defensively was asked to do everything on the floor from 1 to 5, nobody, and I mean nobody, did it better than Rodman. John Sally is underrated. We don't give him enough credit. For Spider was legit. Stacey Augmon, right? Another guy that in space. But I wanted to have the conversation. I didn't know Jay was not going to be here, but Austin and I certainly can have it. And Strick, I'll ask you, if you need a stop defensively in the biggest possession in basketball history, and it's Team Strickland, and you get to put 5 people out there to defend this one possession. Give me 5 players that come to mind.
Now?
Yeah.
Gary Payton.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis Rodman.
Mm-hmm. And this was the one because
I'm going to say athletically, I'm going to say Alonzo Mourning.
Right? So let me flip
as a center.
Right? Let me flip it for you, right? Because this is where we were, and you can't be wrong. So first of all, you can't be wrong. But I said, if we're going to talk defensively in the NBA, I don't care what era, Bill Russell has to be conversation piece number 1, right? Rodman from half court to the front of the rim.
I actually like that better,
right?
To be honest,
well,
Russell better actually to me,
right? 5 that can defend everywhere.
About,
Scottie Pippen.
Mm-hmm.
So
Pippen would be in there,
right? Jordan
normally,
would be in it because
the reason I put Kobe and Jordan, I said Jordan can.
Well,
they're basically the same.
Listen. This is where I was with it because there's 2 elites in this thing. Kobe defensively could defend 1 through 4.
Mm-hmm.
And if I put Jordan on the point guard, listen, wingspan, Hawk. Look, we shutting down some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So your 5 is absolutely right, and it can't be wrong. Here's another guy that we didn't talk about. The guy who set the tone defensively for the greatest team in recent era was Ron Harper.
Yeah.
That Ron Harper at 6'5.5",
and not full strength Ron Harper.
Right? They didn't get Cleveland Ron. They didn't get that dude that gave you that 26 burger.
Right.
And let me tell you that when we talk about the most underrated players in NBA history, Ron Harper's at the top of the list.
Yeah,
because he conceded being the number 2 point guard, 2 guard on the planet to be the point guard of the greatest team of that era.
No doubt.
And it's pretty special to happen. But you think about that. Harper, Jordan, Pippen, Rodman. I don't care whose granddaddy you put out there at center. You still
that part. Because we know Whittington and we know Bill Cartwright. They're the fleetest of feet.
Like they had some not dudes. Oklahoma
Luke Longley was probably the most
Stacey
active. Right.
Like you listen, so that's where I want to start with that, because I think in different positions in different sports, there's different responsibilities. We talk about them in blankets, but the reality is what I asked of Strickland, I couldn't ask of a lot of dudes in the NBA. Then or now.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
We are switching back to the air for old school. So
let's get it.
Tune your radio dial to 93.7. App will be up and running for you. Or heck, stick on stream. Those are still open, available to you. Big thanks to our friends at Sartor Heyman Jewelers for that, as well as Aloe Fiber. Stricky, what's tomorrow?
Oh, Thirsty Thursday.
You know it.
My gosh.
Get it.
Hey,
Tricky
shout out
thing.
to Augie on the stream. Debo Samuel, yeah, he's like a little bowling ball. He's probably like Jalen Brunson to me.
I like it. Don't go anywhere. Old school. Myself and DP will be with you for the next couple hours here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune